It's a beautiful day today and we're back reading some more Am I the A-Hole? Such an incredible subreddit. I'm so excited for this and I hope you guys are too. I love how every single Am I the A-Hole episode we have no idea what we're going to read. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be downright horrifying and we don't know until we start reading it. So yeah, hope you guys are ready for this and I hope you have a wonderful time. Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter that she made it clear that she has no mother and having a long list that she must do to move back in? I'll keep the background short. I divorced my ex-husband when my daughter Maria was 10. I got the house, but I was a stay-at-home mum, so I had trouble making ends meet. So lots of budgeting after I got a job in my field again. My ex didn't have this problem and could spoil her. He spoiled her rotten and it really affected our relationship. I would tell her that I can't afford to get her a $1,000 laptop and it would cause a huge argument about how dad is better. Tried to get her a job. Argument happened. When she was 17, she decided to drop from high school. I told her no. She told me it was her life and she can do what she wants. Another argument, and she left to live with dad permanently. I tried to contact her multiple times, but she told me that I wasn't her mother anymore and to leave her alone. She's now 21 and her dad has gotten remarried and basically kicked her out. She called me and we met up. She wants to move back in and I told her only under these conditions. 1, she needs to get her GED. 2, she needs to be working at a job at least 25 plus hours a week. 3, she needs to be looking into what her career will be and either go to a trade school or college. 4, she won't need to pay rent, but she does need to buy her own stuff like clothes and personal items. 5, she needs to contribute to the shared areas, chores and stuff. She'd refuse to do them as a kid. And finally, no party lifestyle. She needs to focus on getting her life together, not going out every other night like she used to. Save it for the weekend. She called me a crazy jerk and that I'm a crap mother. Oh God. I informed her that she made it clear that she has no mother. She stormed out and I'm getting text messages. Oh, of course you're not the a-hole. That's so awful. You were being completely reasonable too. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, like the top comment says, not the a-hole. Those are completely reasonable requests. Beyond reasonable even. You wouldn't even be out of line to ask them for bills or contributions to the household expenses. She's right, it's her life and she can live it how she wants. That means that she needs to find a way to pay for it. She can't live off her parents for her whole life. It sounds like she was getting a free ride from dad and now that's gone. She's learning the hard way what actual adulting looks like. The partying lifestyle thing is the only one close to being a line. But again, your house, your rules. It's completely fair to not want your roommate coming home drunk at 2 a.m. every morning, being loud and disruptive. If she does want to go out every night, let her find her own place, or roommates who are into that. They even said they can leave it for the weekends. They don't need to party during the week. I'm sure they're only saying that because they want them to sort of stick to a routine and do something productive. And that's completely fair enough. Yeah, no, this is a huge not the a-hole. I feel bad for you. It's such a sad situation. And also the fact that they didn't even apologize to you and they're immediately getting upset and angry at you again and treating you like this. That's super gross behavior. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister to stop saying I have pretty privilege and that it's her fault she looks ugly? I have a sister who's 25. I'll call her Tessa. I'm just going to be blunt and say I look better than her. It's due to her not taking care of herself at all. When I was staying active, she was not. I spend my money to get skincare and keeping my hair nice. She doesn't. She doesn't dress nicely either. She's always in sweats even going somewhere nice. Overall, I look better than her. She has the money to do these things, but she doesn't. Now every time I see her, she'll comment something about the way I look. If I tell a story that turns out good for me, she'll tell me it's because I'm pretty and so on. I assume she's jealous and I have talked to her about it. Now I just passed my test to get my license for my job. I was telling the story at dinner and she told me I passed since I was pretty. Makes no sense. I had enough and I told her to stop saying I have pretty privilege and that it's her fault that she looks ugly, not mine. She left the table after calling me a C word and my family is split. Interesting. So this one is marked as not the a-hole. There are so many comments here that are saying everybody sucks though. And it does sort of feel like that. Like yeah, obviously they're projecting their insecurities, but you didn't need to call them ugly either. And all of this feels so shallow. Yeah, like this comment says, everybody sucks here. It's unbelievably frustrating that she calls everything good that happens to you pretty privilege, but it's not helpful or productive to say that she looks ugly. Whether or not you feel that's her fault, yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one because obviously they're completely wrong for saying that everything that you do or achieve is because you're pretty. Also this comment, not the a-hole. Pretty privilege is a thing, but you just can't crap on everything someone does because they're pretty. It sounds like she has some deeper stuff going on and that she takes it out on you. Yeah, 100% that last bit, which is also more reason to not call them ugly because yeah, it sounds like there's something deeper going on, but it also doesn't mean that what they've been saying is okay. okay. And yeah, I feel like if they are saying that everything you do is because of pretty privilege, that the best thing to do is to like barely even react to stuff like that, like not even entertain it. But yeah, probably not calling them ugly. Would I be the a-hole if I refused to pay for my daughter's college for making fun of my stepson's injury and condition? I, 44 male, am a widow of a previous marriage, and so is my wife, 42 female. She has a son, 19 male, from her previous marriage, and I have a daughter, 17 female as well. We dated for roughly 5 years before being married for 3 years now, and our kids have known each other since the beginning. No major fights or weirdness besides getting to know someone else as a parent and guardian. My son was a tremendous athlete in basketball, and I used to play in college at a school I'm sure that none of you have heard of. Regardless, I know the ins and outs of basketball, and when he asked me to coach him, I was more than happy to. Turns out he was good, really good, Division 1 sort of good. My wife is a controller and I'm a pharmacist. Together we make a very comfortable living, but we're not rich, so when my son was getting scholarship offers for basketball, I realized that we could pay for my daughter's college in full, and neither of them would have any student loan debt when they graduate. A plan that I shared with my daughter, which I think was a mistake to begin with. These plans changed when my son tried riding on someone else's motorcycle, with their permission but with zero training, and got badly injured on an ensuing crash. He lost part of his hand and foot. Not life-threatening, but basketball ending. This happened last year, and my son has been in a deep depression that we're desperately trying to bring him out of, but he feels like his entire identity got ripped away in the blink of an eye. He's been in counselling and prescribed medication, but it hasn't helped thus far. Recently, he confided in me that the pills he's on have unfortunate side effects with his libido to virtually zero interest and wants to stop them. I told him that the important thing is that he's with us, but he can bring that up with his doctor the next visit. Fast forward about 2 weeks, I'm upstairs looking for something in my room, and I heard my daughter talking to her friends on her phone about college. The conversation turned towards her brother, and she said, "I can't wait to be gone. I'm tired of hearing her brother cry every day and saying that his hand is gross." I knew the spirits in the house shifted since he became injured, but I didn't think she felt this type of way. I was going to talk to her later about this, but then I heard her say, "I heard him say that he can't even get it up," while laughing. Oh god, how awful. At that, I was furious. I stormed in her room. I took her phone, her laptop, her car keys, and TV out of her room. I told her she should be ashamed of how she was talking about her brother, and he might do something permanent if he heard you talking about him like that. When my wife got home, we talked about what happened, and while she's proud of the way I stood up for my son, she thinks it's too far to also not pay for her college, since we could easily do so. Would I be the a-hole if I don't pay for my daughter's college? Edit. Fairly unanimous that this would be too far, and I think I knew that, but I just can't calm down. Maybe I'm stunned that this is my own daughter saying it, but it's rare that I harbor something like this. Also, many comments hinting that I'm alienating or neglecting my daughter are completely unfounded. The post was about my son's condition, so I talked about my son. Maybe my daughter feels less important or neglected. I can understand that, but it certainly isn't because of lack of attention or love. I accept it though. I would be the a-hole. The top comment says you would be the a-hole if you didn't at least help pay for schooling. Sorry for the long answer, but this one kind of struck a chord. It's very likely that your daughter is feeling jealous and left out and forgotten because of all the attention your son is getting. I'm not saying that you should stop paying attention to him, because what he went through is terrible, and I really hope he feels better. I've been in similar spots myself, and I can say that depression is not fun to deal with for anyone. I'm really glad that you're being so supportive of him. I'm not a therapist, lol, but I do have similar experience, it seems, to your daughter. I think that since you and your stepson were able to bond so well over basketball, and because it became so important, it maybe created some distance between you and your daughter. I could 100% be wrong, but I think what started as small issues sort of snowballed. Teenagers are notoriously bad at dealing with emotions, and she probably doesn't know what to do. So yeah, you would be the a-hole if you suddenly announced that you wouldn't pay for her schooling. Instead, I may suggest that you spend more time with her and talking in a non-judgmental space. I wish the best for you and the whole family. Yeah, I feel like that's right. But still, it doesn't make what they said any better. The stuff they were saying about the brother is revolting. But yeah, I feel like going forward, it'll have to be pretty much what that top comment said. Am I the a-hole for outshining my sister-in-law's wedding by throwing an extravagant birthday party for my 5-year-old daughter a day after? Sister-in-law and most of her family is upset with me because of a recent situation. My brother got married with sister-in-law at a small church by our house. My daughter's birthday was the day right after, and it was perfect because all the family was in town anyway for the wedding. My husband is a surgeon and he loves to spoil our daughters, and I love planning parties, so I booked a really nice garden venue, and I made it a princess carnival theme for all the kids and adults to enjoy together. It was a beautiful event, but towards the end of it, I got pulled into the bathroom where sister-in-law was upset and crying, saying that a 5-year-old was outshining her wedding. Then she got mad at me, saying it was disrespectful to schedule the birthday party near her wedding and not to talk to her about it. However, it's not like I can change the day that my daughter daughter's birthday falls on, and sister-in-law was invited to my daughter's birthday weeks in advance, so it's not like I dropped it on her last minute. I think it's pretty crazy that she's getting jealous over a little girl, but quite a few family members on her side are saying that I'm in the wrong. Am I the a-hole? Yeah, I don't know. It says not the a-hole here, but I don't really feel that. You didn't need to throw a lavish garden venue party for your 5-year-old. And yeah, obviously they can't move their birthday. It all seems a bit weird, I feel like. Actually, there's a lot of comments here that are saying that. Like this one says, flying against the grain here, but I think you the a-hole. I used to work in an area with a lot of well-paid surgeons who spent more on invitations to a kid's party than any party I've ever had in my life. You took advantage of them bringing family to town. You made sure everyone spent the wedding keeping an eye on their drinking and what time they were out until. You rented a venue and threw a huge theme party. You didn't have an open house where family could just pop in for cake. You didn't even run the plans by her. And this post also glaringly has zero mention of your daughter, that this theme or extravagant party was important to her. Even trying to write your post in a way that makes you look good, you still come off pretty self-centered. Yeah, I don't know, these are complicated because obviously we weren't there and there's so much context missing, of course. The top comment says not the a-hole. Honestly, I have a hard time relating to the it's my special day and no one else can have a good day as me wedding sort of stuff. I understand getting upset about a guest wearing white or not matching themes or when relatives act stupid at weddings, but some of this stuff is just crazy. I've never gotten worked up about such things myself. In this situation, her special day was over. The next day was a little girl's birthday and she wanted a princess party. If you don't want a celebration next to your wedding, don't choose the day before your niece's birthday. They, 2 adults, chose their wedding date. The child didn't choose her birth date. Were they supposed to pretend she didn't have a birthday this year? If that woman is upset, remind her that she made the schedule. Don't let it bother you for 1 second. The magic of being little is short-lived. Your new sister-in-law has the rest of her life to find more things to be miserable about. You only have a short time for magical princess parties, not the a-hole. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about this? It seems like a way for them to show off, and I can totally see that. There are a lot of people saying that they're not an a-hole, but it is pretty tacky, and yeah, maybe that's true. Am I the a-hole for telling my 14-year-old daughter that she's average looking? Oh god, here we go. I, female 39, have a pretty insecure daughter, female 14, who has a depressingly unhealthy obsession with her looks. She often avoids mirrors and pictures because her mood instantly drains when she sees herself. She constantly asks her father and me if we think that she's pretty, and we always tell her the same, that she's a beautiful girl inside and out. As I understand how most teenage girls are with their body image, I was one at some point myself. My daughter's vanity is not only becoming exhausting to those around her, but I feel it's causing her to slowly lose herself. Yesterday, I decided to sit down and have a chat with her about this, to discuss what's bothering her and to see if she's willing to visit a therapist. She told me that she didn't want to talk about it, but as her mother, of course, I'm going to be worried about her, so I insisted, and she finally agreed. A few minutes into the conversation, she asked exactly this: Mum, I want you to be completely honest with me. That means no sugarcoating. The kids at my school think I'm ugly, and they say I look like a bird because I have a big nose. Do you really think I'm beautiful, or are you just lying? I'm an honest person, so I gave her the most honest answer I had. I told her that she was average looking, like most people in the world are, and that it's not a bad thing to have an average appearance. She immediately got up and left without saying a word and just went into her room for the rest of the night. Today she's being cold and distant, and I think I upset her, which wasn't my intention at all. Am I the a-hole? Yeah, the top comment, of course you're the a-hole. I'm an honest person is a weird reason to sit a child down and essentially confirm in her mind that you are liars and she is as ugly as the other kids say that she is. Edit. Look, I get why people harp on honesty, but this isn't one of your girlfriends asking for your honest opinion on whether she should be a supermodel. It's not even your kid asking if you think he's smart enough to get into Yale. This is your kid asking if you think she's beautiful while she's being bullied for being ugly to the point where she can't even look in a mirror. I'm not changing my mind about that. Even if you do feel like they're average looking, it doesn't mean you have to say that, and this especially was not the time to say that. In their mind, they're going to think that all the bullies picking on them are right, and yeah, it's not helpful. The next one is called, Am I the a-hole for telling my friend that it's her fault for getting married and having kids late because the world won't wait on her now? I, 39 female, have a 6-person girl group since college, 37 to 39 female, and that includes Mary, 38 female. We've been close throughout the years and we've been at milestone events for each other. Mary just had a baby and is completely fitting the crazy new mother stereotype. In college, Mary has always been someone who had to make it known that she was unique and different from the rest of us, which wasn't as draining then as it has become now. For starters, all other women in our circle got married between the ages of 22 to 27, and we all have multiple kids, so the 5 of us were able to experience those milestones alongside one another and got closer as we shared similar lifestyles. She was very adamant on not settling until her 30s because she wanted to travel travel and have different experiences, which we all supported. Regardless, she would continue to make comments about how she's so lucky, unlike us, because we've tied down with husbands and babies. I think this is where she grew resentment towards us, because we were in different places in life, and she was upset that we couldn't have our group be similar to how it was in college. Then into our mid-30s, it became a whole saga of she's getting older and she can't find a husband because all the good men are married or divorced with kids. When she finally got married, many could not attend it because it was a destination event and child-free during COVID. This caused a fight because she said how she was there for us during our weddings, but we couldn't put aside a week for her. We'd all told her how we wished we could, but it simply was not financially feasible and didn't logistically work with our kids. But she refused to hear us out and was simply so inconsiderate about our lives and families, saying that we were horrible friends. Now, Mary just gave birth to her first child, and I was very excited for her. The only issue is that she moved from our state to a very remote place that's only accessible by a 6-hour car ride. Her baby is 6 months old, and none of us have been able to go up to visit her. I think she's been having a wrong idea of what a village is, and has essentially demanded in our group chat that we come up for holidays and help her out because she's having a hard time adjusting to mum life. But this would entail that we all take a week off, arrange childcare, figure out transportation and book hotels, all during the holidays. It's gotten to the point where she's posting cryptic messages on Facebook bashing fake friends who won't be there for her. As much as I wish I could, I can't physically support her in the way that she needs me to. It would have been completely different if she still lived in our city, and this was earlier on in life and we had less commitments and priorities. So I told her this, and that if she was hoping for this big village and constant support, she should have thought about that when planning out her life, because we can't all pause our lives for her. So am I the a-hole? Yeah, I don't know about the destination wedding during COVID where you have to stay there for a week. Like, that's a lot. But yeah, I feel like the rest of this is pretty a-holey. Like this comment says, bring on the downvotes, but you the a-hole? You should have thought of that a long time ago. Is such a sick move. Like, what? Is she supposed to get a time machine? This shows a ton of resentment for her different life. This post is so one-sided and demonized this lady to such a massive extent that I struggle to believe that it, or at least many of the details of it, are true. Every choice that your friend makes goes wrong in a way that you show some schadenfreude about in your writing style. My friend delayed getting married and then complained about all the guys getting married. Really? Yeah, your friend does sound like an a-hole, but so do you. You obviously went down different life paths and you resent each other for it. Edit. Wow, I was the only you the a-hole when I posted this. Pleasantly surprised I'm not the only one with this opinion. Edit number 2. I put this in a comment, but I didn't vote everybody sucks here because I think OP is possibly or likely mischaracterizing her friend. Okay, last one for today. Am I the a-hole for telling parents not to take their kids trick-or-treating to a certain house? My husband and I have 5 kids between us. He had 2 from a previous relationship, 9 and 13. I have 1, 14, and we have together 3 and 6. Our 6-year-old is autistic. She's verbal, but she doesn't like strangers and doesn't talk to them. I was worried about taking her trick-or-treating, but I know she practiced at school and we practiced the signs candy please and thank you. It was going well at first. Then she started to get tired. At one of our last houses, she didn't speak or sign. The woman was handing out goodie bags with king-size candy bars and stickers. She gave one to all of my kids except for my 6-year-old. She ran to me crying, and my 14-year-old told me that the woman didn't give her a bag because she wouldn't say trick or treat. I went up and explained that she's autistic and doesn't speak much, but the woman refused to give her anything unless she said trick or treat. After some back and forth, I made the kids give the bags back and we left. I texted a group chat with parents in my daughter's classes, both general ed and special ed, gave them the address and explained what happened so they wouldn't have to deal with that with their kids. Word spread pretty quickly, so that house was not very popular last night, except for some pranks. People even posted about her on Nextdoor. Now she's posting about me and my kids, and this whole thing is blown way out of proportion. I was wondering if I was in the wrong for telling parents not to take their kids to her house. No, I don't feel like you're the a-hole. You weren't like, oh my god, stay away, these people are evil. Like the top comment says, you didn't tell anybody to stay away from the house. You just gave a heads up of how someone treated a neurodivergent kid. People made their own decisions on whether or not to go to the house after receiving your information and requests for support. I'm glad to see that so many were supporting neurodivergent kids. We gave out full-size candy bars last night, and there were kids that were so excited that they forgot to say trick or treat or thank you. Did I complain or make a fuss? No, I saw a couple of kids grabbing extras and it didn't bother me. It's Halloween and it's supposed to be fun. It's wonderful when kids are polite, but you also have to recognize that there are kids like your daughter and my son who sometimes can't do that, or who are just too excited by everything going on to remember all the social niceties. Edit to add, my apologies, I missed the very last line of the OP post. I was reading on my phone, but my point still stands in that people made their own decisions about going to the house. The OP didn't force anyone to stay away, and if the homeowner believes that OP kept people people away. She's mistaken, as it was her own actions that kept people away. Yeah, 1,000,000%. And that's definitely enough for today. That was so fun, and I hope you guys had a wonderful time. But we need to read something wholesome now. Oh, I feel like we read this one a long time ago, but it's so funny. He dragged the sprinkler in through the doggy door, and the look on their face. They're like, oh my god, this is amazing. Or they're completely freaking out, I can't tell. Either way, that's so cute and also frustrating. I sent my dog outside for standing on the dining room table. This was his response. Wow, they're rubbing it in your face. They're like, you know what? I can stand on any table I like. Hey, look, I'm doing what I do in the dining room. You can't stop me. This girl out here straight up chilling with her cat. Oh, that's so adorable. I didn't even see the cat. They look so comfy as well. Having such a good time. Love that so much. Oh my god, that's so cute. That's so cool, that print that they got. I need to get these of Jin and Nez and Chico ASAP. And yeah, what a beautiful cat. I feel like we should leave today's episode there, guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you had a wonderful time. And if you did and you want to see more Am I the A-hole, make sure you like and subscribe. And the comment of the day today goes to Sir Frogsalot 4054. I love watching these every morning after I get home. It's nice to be able to relax and listen to you read stories in the background while I play games. Thank you for the great videos. Oh, no problem. And thank you for watching them. I really appreciate the support. And yeah, guys, thank you all for the support. Everything is going so good. Having so much fun making videos. And I hope you'll join me on tomorrow's adventure. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!